These foods are not just healthy, they're medicinal. They help our bodies to fight off certain types of diseases.
So what if, instead of going to the pharmacy, you could go to the grocery?
Can our everyday food like fruits, veggies, and fish really take the place of over-the-counter medicines?
The watermelon, really?
Absolutely.
This walnut.
Why are walnuts shaped like human brains? Funny coincidence or important scientific discovery?
This is a really good idea to find out which types of foods are good for you and why.
What's the secret connection between colors and medical properties? Let's investigate food as medicine.
So it's a tummy ache, you say? All right, well, in my professional opinion, I would say what you need to do is you head over to the supermarket and you make a dash for some strawberry yogurt, and then you'll be good to go. You don't believe me? Well, watch and be amazed.
We all know that healthy food like fruits and veggies are great sources of essential vitamins and nutrients for our bodies. But for people who are battling health problems, whether it's a tummy ache or high blood pressure, can food as medicine be the answer?
So what if, instead of going to the pharmacy, you could go to the grocery instead? Since the beginning of time, people have been eating all sorts of food to nourish their bodies with vitamins and minerals. Today I'm going food shopping with an expert. I'm with Professor Jaya Henry here, who's a nutritionist. So good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Listen, we've been doing a lot of research here about food as medicine, but I need to talk to you. You're the expert. What do you think about it?
Well, food as medicine is an old concept that goes back to the time of the ancient Chinese and Indians. What we have today is a repackaging of that with good science and good evidence. And I believe the supermarket aisle will be the pharmacy of today and tomorrow.
Professor, a lot of people nowadays are concerned about heart disease. There's a lot of talk about it.
Sure.
So what would you recommend that they eat in order to actually prevent that?
The wonderful pomegranate. This fruit is packed with so much of polyphenols and anthocyanins that it has the ability to defer all the plaque in the arteries.
So for heart disease, pomegranates, that's the way to go.
No question.
Excellent. How about people who suffer from high blood pressure? What would you suggest they eat?
The watermelon contains two amino acids called citrulline and arginine. These have been shown to reduce your blood pressure very, very well.
Okay, you pick a nice one and I'll buy that one today.
So you can have plenty of it.
Excellent.
through the day.
I also asked Professor Henry what's best for curbing a heavy appetite.
Things that are rich in fiber, things like kangkong, kailan, broccoli, like apples, pears.
And sweet potato too, you said that was good.
Oh yes.
Now how about people who are suffering from memory loss? Is there something that they can eat to help jog their memory? Professor, we have turmeric.
Absolutely. Memory loss is a major challenge as we grow old. And it turns out that turmeric has a compound called curcumin that actually reduces the plaque formation in the brain that is one of the causes of memory loss.
And that's science behind it, right?
Absolutely.
Now, does it make a difference if I'm having it in powdered form or if I'm getting the fresh root?
Fresh roots you'd eat much more, so therefore it's more prudent to eat the powder, which is dry indeed. And a few grams a day will do the trick.
Excellent. Few grams a day, keep the doctor away, maybe.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, and would you be a gentleman? Do you mind picking up the tab?
Oh no!
Oh, yes. Well, that was pretty cool, but how about we turn our attention to something else I know our brains can recognize very easily? Pain. But what exactly is pain? Well, it's inflammation caused somewhere in the body. But what exactly is inflammation? Sounds like something fiery. At least he thought so.
Inflammation, I get it. It's something that happens internally in response to some kinds of food.
Having a wound and it's not healing well, that's inflammation.
Do you think it's a good or a bad thing, inflammation? I don't think it's a good thing. It has to be something wrong, that's why I'm getting, for example, a sore throat.
Inflammation starts with our immunity. Immunity is like the army protecting a nation. So when we are attacked by bacteria or virus, our immune response causes an inflammatory response, which is the army trying to fight back the bacteria.
Chronic inflammation is serious. It can lead to some deadly diseases like heart disease, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, cancers, rheumatoid arthritis, and lupus. For pain that won't go away, doctors usually prescribe anti-inflammatory medications like ibuprofen. But because today is all about food as medicine,
Now, a lot of people worry that healthy food means bland food, and that's complete nonsense, not the truth at all. Just ask Chef Dan Segal over here.
That's me.
That's him. Now, your job is to make food look good, taste good. What else do you do?
Well, we're trying to let people know that healthy food can be tasty food as well, and easy to do at home with some magical little ingredients like this.
Ah, the wolfberry. So what will we do today that has anti-inflammatory ingredients?
Well, some of the things that I found were tofu, all right, the wolfberry, red wine, honey, and mushrooms, and we're gonna make a baked tofu with spring vegetables.
Okay, so how shall we cook the tofu, Chef?
We're gonna cook the tofu in a hot pan in a hot oven. The marinade is so easy and fast, it's just soy sauce, honey, and vinegar. The fastest way to do the tofu is to get your pan hot inside the oven first. The oven should be at about 150 degrees, not too hot. Tofu cooks fast. Now, while that's happening, we're gonna cook the vegetables. The vegetables that we're gonna use is baby corn, green beans, ginger, enoki mushrooms, and shimeji mushrooms. We're gonna add a little bit of our nice olive oil, and then we're gonna pop those vegetables right in there, just a little bit of salt. I'm going to get that sauce hot again. For the wolfberry sauce, we're gonna need wolfberries, red wine vinegar, and a little bit of brown sugar. We're gonna bring it to a boil, and I'm gonna throw in a little touch of that olive oil just to give it some body. That one on, and then I'm gonna grab the tofu, and we're good to go.
Wow, this is super fast.
Nice. And we're just gonna put some of these vegetables on top here.
It looks so good when you display it like that, huh?
And we're just gonna top those beautiful red wolfberries on top of our vegetables. Some of that osmanthus flower on top. Finish it off with a little bit of grapefruit zest.
And it's done!
There's lunch.
Bravo, Chef.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's give it a real taste test
Please.
here. That, we're gonna have some of the sauce. And you were so right about the citrus, it worked. So yes, we have vegetables, we have the tofu. Remember, this is all anti-inflammatory, so very good for preventing diseases, and it's yummy. And a lot of people, they give tofu a bad rap. They say, oh, healthy means always tofu, but there's so much you can do with tofu. It's really
Very
versatile.
coming up, we tell the story of a miserable victim of the athlete's foot and how only the power of food as medicine can save him from his itchy fate.
Please tell me what to do. It's disgusting and the itchiness. Oh, the itchiness.
And the big food reveal? What can the colors of food tell us about the medicinal properties? And are the living things in our food harming or helping us? Gross or good? We're investigating the power of food as medicine. We've explored the supermarket in search of cures.
High blood pressure, go for the watermelon. Heart disease, pomegranate.
And showed you how a simple recipe can have anti-inflammatory properties. But what other superpowers does food have to offer?
So I'm wondering, is there a type of food that I can apply directly on the skin?
It's a story familiar to us all. The itchiness, bad odor, skin flaking off the feet. It affects around 15% of the world's population. The victim? Ordinary citizens like you and me. The suspect? A fungus. The method? Slowly reproducing and invading the feet of unsuspecting people all around the world. Join me in this investigation of the athlete's foot. Today we tell the story of a man's struggle to defeat this nasty nemesis, his feet, the itchy, smelly plague that is athlete's foot. We will also show you how you can cure this condition using only the power of food. I must tell the audience that the names have been changed in order to protect the innocent, and also because we couldn't find anybody who would be willing to show their feet on camera. It's an embarrassing condition. Meet MG. He's been suffering from athlete's foot for as long as he can remember. MG, how are you?
I could be doing better, yes.
Tell me, MG, how long have you been trying to get rid of your terrible condition?
Maybe months. It has been a long time. Maybe years. Have been years, yes.
Oh, MG. Listen, would you be willing to try some home remedies to try and cure your disease?
Yes, please. I want to get rid of this disease. Please help me, tell me what to do. This is unbearable. You cannot imagine the smell. The smell is disgusting, and the itchiness. Oh, the itchiness is, I cannot take it anymore.
Cut, please cut. On that same warm and moonless night, MG goes back home. He stops by the supermarket on the way to his 2-bedroom apartment on the east side of town. He has with him a list of ingredients and proceeds to get them one by one.
Olive oil. And then I go a bunch of garlic. I cannot take this anymore. The itchiness, the smell, you cannot believe it, is unbearable.
The plan was simple, maybe too simple. MG will apply the ingredients to his feet for several weeks. The garlic has antifungal properties, while the olive oil helps to soften the hardened and cracked soles of the feet. The paste is applied for 15 to 30 minutes before rinsing with warm, soapy water.
While we leave MG to recover from his athlete's foot treatment, let's check out what other simple yet powerful foods can be applied as medicine to the body.
For millennia, people have used certain foods for treating ailments. Here we have some honey and a potato that can be used for wound healing very effectively. Similarly, for a earache, you can use warm olive oil or a clover of the garlic to reduce your earache. Garlic contains a compound called allicin, which is a great antibiotic or an antiseptic.
So we know that some foods have better healing powers than others. But with countless foods around, could there actually be a secret to finding out if a certain food can be used as medicine? Let's hit the streets to see how many people got that trick figured out. Here's a tip. Sometimes you just have to judge a book by its cover. I've got a lovely basket here with some really yummy stuff, and I'm just curious to see whether you know what is good for what part of the body. This walnut, what do you think this is good for? Which part of the body?
Walnut maybe for the hair and the bones.
The lungs.
What part of the body?
Head? Head? What is inside your head? Yes, brains. Very good.
A walnut looks very much like a brain, and it is no coincidence because the nutrients it contains, the omega-3 and the polyphenols, are very important for brain development and brain activity.
Tomato. What does that look like?
I don't know. Lung.
Why do you think skin?
Because I eat this and so no pimples.
Yeah, it looks like a heart.
And you are correct.
The tomato looks like the cross-section of a heart. And it turns out that the tomatoes are rich in lycopene and potassium, which are very important for good heart activity.
Ginger.
The kidneys.
Tummy. It helps to remove the veins from the tummy.
Ginger looks like our stomach. Ginger contains a compound called gingerol, which is known to reduce your sense of nausea and also reduce your risk of getting stomach upsets.
Carrot. Carrots. What do you think this is good for?
Yes.
No. Ice.
Yes.
Carrots look like our eyes. And it turns out that carrots are a very rich source of beta-carotenes, which is very, very important for eye integrity.
Celery? What is it, do you think? Look.
Battery?
Very good.
Bones.
Bones?
Yeah.
Boom.
Celery looks like our bones. And it turns out that celery is a rich source of calcium and potassium, both important for bone integrity and bone strength. All of these plants that show similarity to our organs is a sheer coincidence. But it is important to remember that our ancestors used it for their health, and modern science has proved that they were always right.
Back to our human experiment. Can you cure athlete's foot with just olive oil and garlic? 3 weeks ago, we met a poor man named MG who suffered from a terrible case of athlete's foot for ages.
I cannot take this anymore. The itchiness, the smell.
After prescribing him the solution to the nasty fungal infection, I'll be meeting MG again tonight. Did he actually manage to defeat his nemesis?
So, MG, what's the verdict? Did the food actually manage to cure the athlete's foot? Tell me everything.
As a matter of fact, yes.
Oh, MG, that's great news. I'm so happy for you.
It did work. I'm so happy with the results. It was very easy.
And once again, our investigation proves the awesome power of food. Please, feel free to try this at home.
When we return, we'll explore the mysterious living creatures in our food and how they act as medicine in our tummy to keep us healthy.
This is a really good idea to find out which types of foods are good for you and why.
Join me as I also investigate which superfoods can combat stress and what are the benefits of the rainbow diet. Before the break, we saved a man from his misery. That is the smelly and itchy athlete's foot.
It did work.
We also learned the secret connection between foods and body parts.
Carrots look like our eyes.
So, what other problems can you fight with food as medicine?
Yes, I understand, but here's the thing. Just because food has medicinal properties doesn't mean you keep eating it all the time. Yes, it could lead to other health problems. Yeah, I'm trying to find the right type of food. I'm already very stressed, you know. Hey, why are you here?
Stress leads to many common chronic and life-threatening diseases. This includes heart disease, cancer, lung, and liver problems. While we can't eliminate stress totally, we can try to fight it by eating the right kinds of food. But do people know which foods can be used as medicine? Let's take this to the streets.
A regular stressful day at work. What do you take? What do you take?
I only have 1 meal per day.
One meal per day?
Yeah.
Chocolate. Yeah. I try to take something sweet. Yeah, it makes me feel better.
When I'm stressed, I just like to eat. Anything.
Anything?
Yeah.
So we asked Professor Henry if we've been de-stressing the right way.
Firstly, we have fish, and fish we know contains omega-3, and the textural properties of fish makes people feel de-stressed. Barley and some beans. They contain a proportion of protein and carbohydrate, which makes you feel cooler and smarter and de-stressed. Finally, chocolates, which is certainly a de-stressor because it contains theobromine, but also it has a wonderful, unique property of melting in your mouth, certainly de-stresses you.
I've ordered this lovely rainbow cake because I've heard that eating the rainbow can be healthy too. Okay, maybe not exactly this rainbow cake, but let me show you.
Colors aren't just there to make our food look pretty. They actually reveal a lot about the nutritional value of the food. Different colors represent different types of healing compounds. The more colors you eat, the better for you.
So let's break it down color by color, shall we? Let's start with red. They all contain lycopene, which helps to rid the body of free radicals that can tend to cause some cancers. Now, lycopene is also very good to help prevent lung disease and heart disease. Good stuff.
yellow-green fruits and veggies this time. They're good for is to help prevent the risk of cataracts as well as some forms of macular degeneration. Orange fruits and veggies, they all contain alpha-carotene, which helps to prevent certain types of cancers, but they also contain beta-carotene, which the body turns into very good vitamin A. Orange and yellow. These contain beta-cryptophanzine, which may help prevent heart disease, and the good thing is one single orange gives you 170% of your recommended daily dose of vitamin C. Red and purple. Now they contain powerful antioxidants. What that actually means is it also helps with heart disease and it helps to prevent some blood clots. Time for the green good. Now they contain chemicals that help to ward off cancer because they inhibit carcinogens. Last but not least, white and green. The good thing about onions is that they contain allicin, which has some really interesting anti-tumor properties.
Food as medicine in the rainbow diet catches both our attention and appetite. But what about the tiny microscopic creatures we can't see with our naked eye? What are they?
Take a look at what I've actually found written on this bottle. With live cultures probiotics. That means there's living bacteria in this bottle. Is that gross or is that good?
Probiotics are essentially a cocktail of bacteria that provide some health benefit. So probiotics can be gotten from yogurt, from kimchi, but also bought in small little bottles in the supermarket. It is good to eat probiotics in terms of it changing your gut microflora, but remember that it's very, very hard to change your gut microflora by eating probiotics for just a couple of days. It has to be continuous use.
I want to show you a quick, easy, cheap, surefire way to make a homemade probiotics drink nice and healthy from a reliable source. The young coconut. But before we even begin, here's a disclaimer. Make sure you wash your hands, make sure they're nice and clean, ensure that whatever tabletop or countertop that you're using is sterilized, as well as the glass jar and whatever knife you choose to use to cut the lid off the coconut. Ooh. You can get yourself some probiotic capsules, and you want to empty the contents of the capsules into the jar as well. And then you close the lid firmly. Here's something I made earlier. Take a look. As you can see, fermentation has happened. It's bubbling. That's the good, healthy probiotics. And if you're interested in making another batch, what I would suggest is that you save some of the probiotics at the bottom, the frothy bits, so that the next one is really intense.
These foods are not just healthy, they're medicinal. They help our bodies to fight off certain types of diseases. But remember, just because they're good for you doesn't mean you have to eat so much of them. It's all about balance. That's the key. Yes, these foods will help you to prevent some diseases, but if things get serious, you have to see a specialist. Ask them as many questions as you can and try and find that nice balance between food and medicine to get your body back into tip-top shape.